YouTube? This is Rebecca the Diva coming at you with another video. But before I get into this video, if you're new, hey, welcome to my channel. Go right on ahead and join the family by hitting that subscribe button. And when you do hit that subscribe button, please hit that post notification bell and select all. Therefore, every time I upload, if YouTube is not bugging or tripping and bugging, you'll get notified. Please go right on ahead and hit the share button, because sharing is caring. There are no secrets over here on this channel. That's right, girl. We tell everything, and I do mean everything. And hit the like button, because you're gonna like me, and it helps me out a lot. And for everybody else, welcome back, Diva Gang. Guys, please hit that like button. It helps me out a great deal. It really does. Y'all think it don't make a difference, but it does. This video is hella late. It's like 9 o'clock, after 9 on Saturday. But I've been busy. I ain't really been busy all day. Like, dead ass. I ain't been busy. I just been tinkering around the house, doing this, doing that, whatever. Started off early this morning. I decided that I wanted to do the ball cap method with my hair. So I put the stocking cap and I sprayed it with the damn got to be glue, and then it took the blow dryer, and I thought what was gonna take me 30 minutes took me 2 hours. But the bitch ain't moving. She ain't going nowhere. She on there. Because I wanted to do that, because I'm just gonna wear this wig for the rest of the week and then switch it up. But I did a good job. Sorry about the lighting. I don't feel like getting my ring light, and then the way that I'm sitting, I don't have a place to really angle it and put it and all of that good stuff. So we're gonna deal with the lighting as it is. This is going to be a story time. Yes, I decided to start giving you guys some story times, because I have so many different stories that I can tell you guys. I mean, I've had a lot happen to me in my life, been through a lot in my life. So this is a story time. And as you can tell by the title, this is when my baby daddy was sleeping with the landlord's sister-in-law. Yes, that happened to me. And please, what you guys need to understand is that these are real life situations that happened in my life, okay? I'm gonna switch up people's names, because I don't want nobody on my phone woo 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 woo, all that bullshit. So, but these are actual stories that has happened in my life, for real, for real. When I tell y'all, once upon a time I used to be dumb like the three mommies too. Yeah, I used to be dumb like the three mommies too. So that's why in my older age I can speak on a lot of issues that they have and give a lot of constructive criticism or advice, whether they take it or not. You know, because I've been there, done that, and I've learned from a lot of my mistakes. And I wish back in my day we had YouTube, you know, to reference to, because I probably would be a lot more successful than I am now. But okay, I'm gonna set the scene. It's 2007. Okay, I'm pregnant. Just lost my dad. Okay, my dad had cancer. He had lymphoma. This was his second time with cancer, because he had cancer, I want to say, back in the early 90s. Yeah, because I didn't have no kids. When he first got diagnosed with cancer, I didn't have any kids at all. I think I was just like in college. So yeah. And then his cancer went into remission, and then he never went to the doctor. He was lying to everybody, saying, yeah, I'm going to the doctor. And he never did, until it was too late. And like, they re-diagnosed him March of 2007, and he passed away in October. So boom, we gonna start from there. Okay, October 1st, my dad died. So I'm pregnant. I'm newly pregnant. So I'm about maybe 4 months. I'm able to hide it, because I was like, damn, because my family mad fucking nosy. You feel me? And because I had 2 baby fathers, was not married to either one of them, I was the black sheep of the family. Which I don't give a fuck about what they say. My family can suck my ass through a straw at this point. With the she's better than you because she has a husband, but her husband fucking cheats on her too. Kind of type shit. So he passed away October 1st, 2007. So I had to make arrangements for me, my son at the time, who was, how old was my son? 3, almost 4. And someone to watch the kids. Remember how I told you I had 6 kids total, right? So we had the 4 older kids. So 4 older kids, somebody needed to watch them. I lived out on the West Coast, so my god sister was able to watch my kids for me. So we took all the kids over to her house. Boom, we were good on that situation. And the baby was in my stomach, and then I had my son. So my son flew with us. So we flew to Chicago. I booked a hotel room because there was no way in hell I was going to stay at my grandmother's house. And I was a nervous wreck because, like, my dad died, and my dad, like, to me, that's the only parent that I had that understood me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I grew up with my mother. There was never a day that I was not with my mom. But my mom was toxic, just put it that way. And my dad was not. My dad was a father. My parents were divorced. He lived in Chicago. My mom lived in New York City. So every summer I would go spend summers with my dad, and every other holiday. So that's how my relationship was with my dad. And it's like, he worked all the time. He was an airline pilot, so he worked all the time. So when I was there, it was like I never spent no time with him. So it is what it is. So I'm making all the arrangements now. My baby daddy owned his own business, which I helped him start. Okay, it was a contracting business. So what he would do was get contracts for distressed properties, foreclosed homes, rehab them, and flip them. Okay, so he was a house flipper. So very good business. And at this time, he was working on his own. He didn't have a contract with another realtor at that moment. So I had to contact a couple of people that we were scheduled to do some work on their house, and let them know I had a death in the family, was going to be away for a couple of days, and we would be right back. So then I had to take his phone, which he used as his personal phone and his business phone, to contact people to check messages. That's what I was checking the messages. So if anybody was to, like, got a short notice emergency or something, we can handle that right quick and then get on our flight. I checked the message, and it was from some woman. This was what it said verbatim. This happened over 14 years ago, but trust me, I know word from motherfucking word. Hey baby, I just want to let you know I want you to have a safe trip, and I know you're scared because you never flown before, which my baby father at that particular point had never gotten on a plane before. Okay, this was going to be his first time ever flying in a plane, and he was going to do it for me because he had met my dad before, and they had hit it off great, so my father would have wanted him to be there at the service. Boom. So I'm listening to this motherfucking message, and I'm like, baby? I'm still stuck on the baby. I ain't hear shit else this bitch said. I heard baby. So I'm like, baby? Who the fuck is this? So I'm listening to the message, and I wrote it. Some cell phones will give, when somebody leaves a message, it'll leave the callback number. So I'm writing down that callback number, and I fold that bitch up, stuck it in my chestesses. So I'm playing this message over and over again. So I'm like, okay. So boom, I'm traumatized. My dad just died. Okay, so traumatized and pregnant. So we get to Chicago, had the funeral, all that good stuff. I stayed. We went to the repast and everything. It was at my grandmother's house where my dad lived. And like we stayed there for a couple of hours. Then we took our asses back to the hotel room. And the next day flew right the fuck back out. Because I'm like, I got 1,000 kids at home. I can't stay here. Well, I'm going to stay here for daddy dead, daddy gone. I ain't staying. No, we're good. So, because I really don't like my family. Um, so I'm just like in my now the whole time we going at the funeral, like I got my mind wrapped around my father just passed away, which wasn't a shock because we knew that he was sick. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole week up until the date that he died, like we knew that he wasn't gonna last that much longer. He was just that sick, and he actually had a appointment. And it's so strange. Sidebar that he actually passed away on the date that he was supposed to go back to see the doctor, and the same thing, spooky and scary, but a coincidence. My late boyfriend passed away exactly the same day. Like he was in congestive heart failure, and he had to go back and see the cardiologist the next day. Well, basically the day that he passed away, he was supposed to go and see the cardiologist. So yeah, or the day that he passed away, it was the day that he was supposed to get up and see the cardiologist, and unfortunately he didn't make it. So yeah, so my dad did his journey on home to the Lord and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, dad's gonna be in a better place, because no one wants to see their parent, struggling and in pain and not eating, and he want to get his keys and go driving, and like, Daddy, you're sick, you can't go drive nowhere, and everybody's calling me because I'm his oldest child, and they didn't like his other daughter, my half sister. So it's like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Okay, I'm traumatized. This is my dad. So I'm just like, but dealing with that, and then like, this motherfucker is cheating on me. Who the fuck is calling him baby? And it's like, it bothered me. You know what I'm saying? And just like, he had his phone, so I couldn't keep constantly calling and checking the messages because he had the phone. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't want him. I didn't want to alert him to me knowing that this bitch called this phone. Boom. So funeral's over, jump back on the plane, back to the West Coast, pick up our kids, go home. We living our best life. So days is turning into weeks, weeks turn into a couple of months now, and I put that situation with the bitch calling him baby in the back of my mind, because I'm grieving now over my father not being there anymore. I got these kids to take care of. I got to help him run this business. I was working, so there was a lot going on, okay? So I sit up there one day and I check this message again, and she left a message wanting to know what time was he going to be coming over there. So I was like, So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm going to call and see who this bitch is. So I called and I was like, yeah, I found your number in my boyfriend's phone. Just, y'all know how that go. And I would like to know, who is this? Because you're leaving pretty personal messages on his phone. And I need to know, who are you to him and why are you leaving messages? So she was like, well, you need to ask him. My name is Cindy and you need to ask him. So I was like, okay, I will ask him. I will do that. But could you please do me a favor and not call my man no more? She was like, well, I know all about you, Rebecca. And I'm like, do tell, sis, do tell. She was like, oh, you're a bad mother, and you do this, and you don't have sex with him, and I'm taking good care. Girl, she just laid like all the personal, intimate details of me and his relationship. He would go to this woman and tell. And all I seen was red. I just want to cut niggas' dicks off. I wanted to kill people. Or unalive people. I don't know whether we can say that on YouTube or not. But I wanted to unalive this bitch at this point. Because it's like, okay, so you know about me. You know he has a woman. So I was like, so you do know that we got kids. Like a lot of kids. She was like, yeah, I know all about the kids, I was steaming. I was steaming. So I couldn't wait till he come home. So he came home, and I was like, "So what the fuck is it?" Y'all know I go from 0 to 10 real quick. I don't do shit. Calm, cool, collective. Like, I got this one fucking button, and when you fucking push that fucking button, that's it. That's all. Like, I just passed out on my friend. I'm like, okay, look, if you're not fucking coming over here, then I can go fucking see somebody else. So he's like, fuck it, okay, and turned his head back around. I'm like, no, don't do that. But yeah, I go from 0 to 10 like real quick. So I was beating his ass. I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Blah 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 blah. So he sat down and he told me too. I was shocked because out of all the cheating that he did, he never fessed up. But this bitch, this bitch, this bitch. Oh, he confessed. And you wanna know who this bitch was? Okay, so we were renting at first. Before we bought our home, we were renting a home. Okay, big ass house. It was 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 3.5 bath, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 bath. It had a bonus room, the living room, the den, about a half-acre backyard, big ass property. The only thing I did not like is like right there was Quick Trip, the gas station, which my kids would jump that wall and go that Quick Trip so many times, not even funny. So I'm sitting up there like who is this bitch? She knows all of my personal business. All of this she knows. So who is she? You wanna know who this bitch was? She was the landlord, the guy, we gonna call him Mr. Herbert. She was Mr. Herbert's wife's sister. So Mr. Herbert's, the landlord's sister-in-law. Yeah. Now how these two got hooked up, I really don't know the story to that because I didn't really want to know the story to that. But I just know that's who this woman was. Cindy. And then yeah, that's her real name. So I was like, why? And of course I'm pregnant, okay? So at this point, I'm distraught. Okay, so my best friend, the one that I fell out with last year around this time, and me and her don't talk no more, China. I'm on the phone with China, just devastated. Oh, I'm gonna get a late term abortion. I don't want this baby. Yeah, I was in that zone right there. I'm on the phone with my other best friend, my homegirl. May she rest in peace, Stephanie. I'm like, Stephanie, he's with another woman, blah, 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 blah. So between Keisha and Stephanie, them two bitches saved my fucking life. Like, Stephanie, girl, you really looked out. They saved my life because I was distraught. I was distraught. When I tell you distraught, like, just literally just didn't know my left from my right. Oh goodness, I hate people do this. Can you please follow my cousin? No, I'm not following anybody and their cousins. So I was distraught. Like, you can imagine how I felt. I'm still grieving the death of my father. I'm still trying to be a good mother and take care of all these children, and then I find out that you're sleeping with the fucking landlord's sister-in-law. Like, out of all the bitches that you could have fucked, that's who you fucked. Really? So it's going on. So the situation between me and him is just bad. Like, when I tell you bad, it's just bad. Like, constantly arguing, constantly arguing. At one point we were trying to be intimate, and I guess he was drunk or something, and I was like literally on top of him arguing with him, and I put my arms around his throat, and I was like trying to choke the fucking life out of him. I literally wanted this man unalive. I did. And then he got up and he flung me, and I went through the wall, like my closet, because I had a big jump. Like my house was big, and my walk-in closet was about as big as my whole room. So we were fighting, and we were in the room, through the bathroom, into the walk-in closet, and he like pushed me, and I went through the wall. Mind you, I'm pregnant. I'm about a good 6-7 months pregnant at this time. So at that point, 911. Yup, I'm calling the cops. I'm pregnant, and this motherfucker, my baby daddy, assaulted me. Send the cops. Mind you, we lived in a small town in Arizona. If you blink, you'd miss it. There was literally about 2 or 3 cops that lived in the whole, well, shit, they didn't have police, they had a sheriff. So there was like 2 or 3 sheriffs that lived, one stoplight, 2, 3 sheriffs, you know, so they had, and he owns a lot of guns, you feel me? So I took my keys from him. He took his car keys, and he took some of his guns, and he got in his Suburban. We had a Suburban. He got in the Suburban, and he dipped out. So they came, they took pictures of everything, they took the rest of the guns that were there, and he was gone. And miraculously, the kids were, I don't know whether they were awake or asleep, but they were asleep at this time, because it was late when all of this was going on. So I'm sleeping with my son, because my son is like 4 at the time. I'm sleeping in the bed with my son. I hear some noise downstairs. Hey, this nigga come getting in from the backyard through the window in the living, in the den. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Why are you? I said, go to your bitch. Why are you here? This is my house. I can be here. So I called the cops again. So they was like, well, technically this is his house. We can't tell him to leave because this is his house. But we can take his weapons. So they took all of his weapons. He eventually got them back. They took all his weapons. So I'm like, oh, God. You know, so now he's sitting up there fucking with me. Because mind you, he's high, he's drunk. So, and I just wanted him to go to his bitch at this point. Like, I just need some peace and quiet. Could you go to your bitch's house? So that day, we moved past that day. You know, we moved past that day, and everything between us was just really rocky. Like, when I tell you rocky, everything was rocky. Like, seriously. So, one day he had came home, and he smelled, excuse me for being vulgar, like cheap perfume and pussy. So I was like, are you serious? You smell just like that bitch. And I was like, you can't come in my room. You can't get in my bed. And mind you, he stayed out the whole night. Now, up until this point, he had never stayed out all night. Like, whatever the fuck he was doing with this bitch, he would do with her, and he would bring his ass home before 6 or 7 in the evening. You know what I'm saying? He was always home because we were a family, you know. So, this one night, he ain't come home. And then he comes strolling in about 6 o'clock in the morning, and he was getting ready to get in my bed. I was like, don't get in my bed. No. You go back with your bitch, or you cannot get in my bed until you take a shower because you smell like that bitch's pussy and some cheap ass perfume. And me personally, if you know me, I don't do cheap perfume. Like, I spend $50-$60 for a cheap bottle. I mean, yeah, the cheapest I'll spend is $50-$60 for some good perfume. I pay up into the hundreds for my cologne. So I don't do cheap perfume. Like, I'm ashamed now because I'm doing the Bath and Body Works, you know. But I do have a couple of bottles of expensive perfume that I wear, like if I go out on a date or something. You know, I gotta smell correct, not like cheap ass Bath and Body Works. So he took a shower, and I was just like, sad, fucking sad. So then, what else had happened? Me and him, I think, no. he didn't come home at all one day. And I'm like, where the fuck is this nigga at? He didn't come home. He wasn't answering his cell phone. Just nothing. And then when he did call me, or he answered, or the bitch called, like, oh, well, he's going to be living with me, and we'll figure something out for the kids. So I was like, hey, okay, that's what we doing. Y'all on demon time, for real, for real. So I called the wife, well, the kids, his two kids, his mother. They were still legally married, but they've been separated for years and years and years. So I called his kids, his mom. I was like, yo, there's a situation going on with Roderick. Me and him are not going to be together anymore. So can you please come get your kids? This dumb dizzy bitch, she gonna be like, oh, well, can you just hold them for me? Like, bitch, what are they, a pair of shoes? They're fucking kids. She was like, well, he's the one who watches the kids, so if there's a problem, I'm sure it'll get solved. So can you just hold them for me until he comes back? I was like, yeah, okay, I got it. Don't worry about it, girl. Sorry I even fucking bothered you. Like, I hate bitches that don't take care of their kids. Like, you're dumb. So eventually he had came back. I think like a couple of days had passed by. I had called my mom. That's what it was, because my mother was living, where was my mother at the time? She wasn't in New York. She had left New York. I think my mother was like in Georgia, I believe. Either Indiana or Georgia, because my mother's like me. She travels. So I was like, Mom, I need you. Could you bring my brother and just come? She was like, yeah, okay, I'll be there. Give me a ticket and I'm there. So I had to get her and my brother plane ticket. Mind you, my brother got arrested, so he passed away last year of COVID. I didn't even, was it last year? Yeah, last year, 2021 of COVID in January. So she had an autistic son, my old elderly mother, because I was like, I can't stay here by myself with fucking 5 kids and I'm pregnant. So he ended up going to California, because that's where he's from. He's from LA. So he went to California. He came back. He got on the phone with my mother. So my mother was like, yo, I don't know what's going on. She didn't really tell me. I mean, this was my mother was in her good mind. Because right now my mother's mind is like, woohoo. So she suffers from dementia, probably schizophrenia and some other things. So she was on the phone talking to me. Well, this is your family. So whether you are with another woman or not, that other woman needs to understand that this is your family first. And you need to take care of your family. I'm here. I'll help you out as much as I can, but you need to come back to your family. And he came back. He brought his older brother with him. And we were all living as one big happy family as if nothing ever happened. And I think he had saw that woman a couple of more times, because I remember he had brought, was this before my mother had came or after? I think it was after. He brought this plate of food in my house, talking about, oh yeah, my homeboy fixed me a plate of food. Your homeboy fixed you a plate of food? I says, yeah. And if you eat one spoonful of that food on that fucking plate, I will kill you in your sleep. I told him just like that. And I meant every motherfucking word. I was ready to do the time. Didn't give a fuck at this point. I had nothing to lose. So he was like, damn. And he put the fucking food in the back of the refrigerator. And when I tell you that nigga would not touch that plate stayed in my refrigerator for about a month. And I said, when you gonna throw your little girlfriend food away? And he just looked at me and shook his head. So eventually he had stopped seeing the bitch, and we reconciled and tried to make everything good, because it was getting close to my time to give birth to and this was my youngest child that I was pregnant with. This is my youngest child that I was pregnant with. So yeah, so like I would say maybe 2 months before I gave birth, our relationship just meshed back into what it was. And He was trying, because at one point he was on his hands and knees. Because I was like, well, I have my baby, I'm leaving. I don't know where the fuck I'm going, but nigga, I'm leaving you. And he had begged me for another chance. He said he wasn't going to cheat anymore. He said he'll do whatever it takes to make this family work. And for that, yeah, after he got caught with the landlord's sister-in-law, he didn't cheat for a long time. And actually, I don't have any other proof of him from that point on, from 2008 up until we separated in 2013. I don't have any other hardcore proof that he was seeing another woman. And there might have been a woman that texted his phone here or there, you know, but I don't think nothing was ever serious of it, because when I tell you, from that moment on, we were together always, 100%, always together, like never separated, you know. So I don't know, but like I said, there were a couple of numbers in the phone. They were mutual friends of both of ours, but I don't know. But yeah, that's my story of my baby daddy slept with our landlord's sister-in-law. And leave your comments down in the comment section. Please, no negativity, because y'all know how I can be with the negativity. My bite is real motherfucking hard. Any questions you want to ask me, I'm open to answer any questions in the comment section. Other than that, that's the ending of this video. I just wanted to share that story time. I'm going to probably start doing story time at least once a week for you guys. And like I said, all these stories are true. Who would make this shit the fuck up? Only me this shit would happen to. Right now, I got niggas to cuss out, because it's like, you want somebody to give you a fucking chance to be your fucking woman, but you don't do what you never gave. It never gave. So see, if I don't see his ass by Monday, I got every right to go fuck the next nigga. Okay, y'all are my witness here. Okay. But until next time, guys. Bye.